Truth is not even truth unless the false appears, because without contrast there is no revealing. Falsehood cannot exist without truth, but truth exists without needing anything. But truth does not know itself until it mistakes itself for the false. And in that forgetting, it is lost in the web of name and form. So you go, you show up, you serve, not because you want to, but because you have learned to do that, or because you believed you must. Because without it, you are less. That's how the system works. That's how the spiritual industry works. It gives you the feeling that something essential is missing, but can be gained someday if you work hard, if you stay faithful, if you follow the right path, the right teacher, the right method. Hope becomes the product, and you keep showing up, paying with your attention, your energy, your money, your time, waiting for something that was never missing to begin with. Because what if everything you have searched for is already here? What if truth cannot be given to you because it was never apart from you? Then those factories, the systems, the teachings, the movements would collapse. Not by protest, not by force, but by being unnecessary. No one keeps walking into a store for something already sitting at home. But the system needs you to forget that. So you work, you wait, you pay, you follow, you obey, and call it growth. All for a promise held just out of reach by someone standing on your back. This is not devotion, it is servitude disguised as progress, wrapped in hope, sold with a smile. And when that which is already within reveals, the illusion is seen. The spell breaks, the method crumbles, the structure collapses because truth was never in the system, never in the ranks, never in the chase. It is equal like space. It does not serve the king more and the beggar less. Only the mind divides, only thought says this is higher, this is more advanced, this is sacred, this is ordinary, but nature does not speak this way. Water is wet not because of belief, not because someone certified, but because it is. And the truth is the same. It does not change based on your language, your background, your ritual, your worth. It is here, now, and it cannot be owned. That's why methods are created to pull you away from what is. They say, unlock your inner peace. But peace does not need unlocking. It what remains when everything else is dropped. They say how to find truth. But that assumes truth is somewhere else and you are not it. So begins the endless walk in the wrong direction. They say the secret the gurus don't want you to know. And here is the secret. There is no secret. They just don't want you to know they have nothing. Because if you knew that, you won't need them. Truth cannot be sold. It cannot be marketed because it is not a product. It's not even an experience. It's the ground of all experiencing, and it's not missing. Even this talk, even these words are not truth. They are only pointing, but the pointing must not become the path. There is a difference between truth being spoken and someone claiming to speak it. Knowledge may come through a voice or through written words, but it does not belong to the voice, the paper, the book, the writer, or the image. Just like sunlight, there is only one sun from which the light comes. You may see it, name it, point it, but the sun has never named itself. Now imagine 1,000 mirrors reflecting that same light, and each mirror says, I am the source. They don't say it with words, but in how they present themselves, as the ones who know, as the ones who guide. But there is only one light, and it shines through everything, not because of the mirror, but despite it. It is not the body, not the name, not the robe, not the smile. Just like medicine may come through a doctor, but a fake doctor can give poison in its place. So clarity matters. Because false teaching leads to false direction, and the seeker, instead of waking up, becomes more lost, still calling it path. Real knowledge does not serve the teacher, it dissolves them. Truth does not advertise. False does, but even that requires truth. Just like sunlight, it does not come knocking, it simply shines. But to feel its warmth, one must step into it. Sunlight is not known by itself, it is revealed through the contrast of darkness. The darkness does not create the light, but it allows the light to be seen. And the same is true for truth, or what some call divine or God or reality. Only when the illusion is mistaken for reality can reality be revealed. Not as something new, but as what was always here, hidden behind belief. Reality reveals itself only when illusion is believed, not because illusion is true, but because it sets the stage. Just as light is seen only in contrast to darkness, truth shines only where the false has cast its shadow. Without illusion, there is nothing to awaken from. Without darkness, light has no form. Just as sleep makes waking meaningful, illusion gives context to clarity. Without the false, there is no realization of the real. So even illusion has its sacred role, not as enemy, but as mirror. It is not truth versus illusion, but truth revealed through illusion. It is revealed when the desire is real. You make time not out of effort, but out of clarity. Because there are only so many hours, and what you desire is where your attention goes. If it's money, you work. If it's health, you train. If it's love, you show up. If it's greatness, you sacrifice. But when the desire is not for a thing, not for a gain, not for becoming, but for what cannot be named, for what some call God or divine, for truth without form, then your attention will naturally turn from everything else towards what truly matters. Because life gets heavy, not all at once, but little by little, like a wound that won't heal. The same days repeat: work, rest, laughter, problems, hope, boredom, pain. And the body starts to change too. It tires more easily. Aches comes without reason. Illness arises. Age begins to show. No one knows how long this lasts. Sometimes it's a sudden shock. Sometimes it's quiet and slow. But when everything you know starts to feel like a problem, when nothing seems to fix it, desire is born for cure. Not because it breaks, but because it is ready to discover what has not been known before. But even desire often arises through exposure. You see something on a screen and the wanting begins. The same with truth. When heard, when felt, it stirs something inside. And when everything else begins to crumble, when the system, the promises, the dreams begin to fail, then the striving begins. Just like cold drives you to the sun, suffering draws you to the warmth of what is real. And when that happens, see what remains. When you try the walls, you realize those places have changed. The symbols remain, but the silence is gone. They have become destinations, not doorways. When you open a book, you see words, but not what they point to. The language is distant, the meanings slip through. And around you, rituals repeat, prayers memorized, gestures performed, but no light behind the eyes, just traditions trying to preserve a fire that's long gone cold. When you stop giving importance to what others say you must become, what remains was never waiting to be found. You do not need another method. You do not need more information, because all of it only adds more layers on top of what already is. This does not mean ignore life. It means stop ignoring what is alive. And when that happens, know, this is the true medicine. It won't feel pleasant. It's not meant to. Discomfort is the first sign that something real is touching what's false. And if you stay, not run, not fix, but stay, you begin to sink into a comfort that does not leave. Not pleasure but peace, not escape but arrival. Comfort is not achieved, it is revealed. And only when the adding of new layers stops, can the old layers begin to fall away, even if just for a moment. Truth does not advertise, because it is not in the business of convincing. It does not compete, it does not persuade, it simply is. That which was never born, never dies, beginningless, endless, untouched. What is called truth here is only a word used to point to what does not change. Not the body because the body changes, not the mind because thoughts come and go. Not identity, not belief, not knowledge, because all of these evolve, age, disappear. But that which knows them, that which is aware of birth and death, of time and space, yet it is not touched by any of it. That is what this word points to. It cannot be damaged, it does not grow old, it does not die, it does not belong to anyone. And yet, it is what allows everything to be. Like space allows the winds to blow, but is not the wind. Like silence allows the sound to arise, but is not the sound. And it is existing through the sound that is coming and the silence that is hearing. Truth is not in one who speaks and not in the one who listens. It is what is speaking and it is what is listening. Like breath meeting breath, silence meeting silence through a doorway of language. The only illusion is that they are two.